Alright, Improvisation Center is back again with another little project here. As you can see in front of me, I have a box that is marked Starlink. And this is supposed to be a new satellite internet that's supposed to be a lot better than the established satellite internet services that are out there like Viasat, HughesNet, yada yada. And it's supposed to be faster, more reliable in questionable weather and all that stuff. So I felt I'll bite. We went ahead and basically signed up for it, and we now have a box in front of us. It's supposed to be a self-install setup. Our neighbor also got it, and he had his set up pretty easily, and so far he's satisfied with it. So that's enough of a endorsement to make me feel confident that this is going to work out a lot better than our current satellite service. So since we got this box, we'll go ahead and see what we got in this sucker. Let's see what we got. We got our stand here. I've seen that. Got our stand for the actual dish. And then right here, we actually have the actual dish set up. Go ahead and set this up as well. Get it out of the way here. So we got our dish right here. Let's see what this little sucker is right here. A little pictorial diagram here. We'll set that aside. Let's see what else do we got here. Got a router box here. Big router box. Hooked all up. I'll set that aside. You might say, why am I doing this on the Monte Carlo? Well, that was the only suitable spot right now, and that was where I set the box, so whatever. Anyway, go ahead. We got a shitload of cable right there, because obviously our array will have to be set up outside, and just like my neighbor's array is set up, it's pointing to the north relative to his house, so we're essentially going to have to do the same thing. And since we're right here and have to go due north, more than likely I'm going to set this array up in the garden somewhere. More than likely later on it's going to go on a dedicated post, maybe one of those fence posts over there by the Mustang. Yeah, suitable post, maybe, we'll see. Anyway, the array's got to go outside, and of course the router will be inside. Now the other thing is, I do have to see if these cables are able to be disconnected from the router, where if I do anything, I could route the cable under the house and maybe up through a small hole in the floor, versus having to route the thing through the window or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little more deeper analysis of this equipment, as well as look at the instructions so I can see what all I have to do. Stand by. Start things off, this cable right here is the cable going from our array, and it's going up through the floor. I'm currently under the house and have a hole in the floor. Got the cable routed up through said hole, and it'll be connected to the router that'll be mounted on our entertainment center table where our old satellite router is located. This is pretty much the hard part right now, is getting up under the house to do this shit. So with that all said and done, I can get out from under this house and start getting all the other stuff hooked up. Stand by. Okay, here's our cable. Long cable. Got it running across the driveway. I will have to dig a little trench later to bury this thing. Got it running into the garden, and it's terminating right there at our array that's on its little stand that I have staged aiming to the north. I'll see what our instructions say as far as any kind of tweaking or whatever. I'm going to have to download an app on the phone, so that's going to be our next thing. Stand by. Okay, the next thing we got to do is download the app. It's on the Play Store, so no big deal. Get the app downloaded real quick and go ahead and open this joker up. Then we can start setup. Next thing we got to do is plug our stuff up. I will go do that real quick. Stand by. Alright, here's our router box. Simple little thing. 2 jacks on here. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an Ethernet plug of any sort, so this is strictly wireless. But here's our cable for the power. Get that plugged in. And then we got our power for the antenna array. Get that plugged in. So you get this routed in a way. It almost looks like a giant micro USB plug. But plug that little sucker in right there. And that there is ready to rock and roll. So now, get this dust and crap off. Now, go ahead and go back to the phone app so we can start setting it all up. Okay, one of the first things the app asks you to do is check for obstructions. So, I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Tells you to make sure that your array is in a good location. And it's going to want you to scan the entire sky and, of course, keep everything still. So, we're going to go ahead and say, I am ready. And it's going to want you to look up. Looking that way. It kind of gives you a little bit of a directional thing to tell you where to aim. Okay, let's view our results. Let's see if all is good. Okay. It says find a better spot. Alright. Let's see where else we can set up at. Let's see. Where else do we want to set up at? Stand by. Okay, we're going to try this again. Looking up. Okay. See what happens now. Ah, son of a bitch. The way it's looking, our trees and shit are just a wee bit too close. Might have to find me another good spot here. Stand by. Okay. I went ahead and relocated the array to outside of the fenced in area where it's more or less wide open. So we're going to try our looking around again. Can't see shit. Let's see what she says now. Really? That's funny. Try this one more time. See if this fucker takes it this time. course, it's going to still say it's... Alright, well, since our obstruction checking thing seems to not want to be too satisfied with our area because of some of the area having trees, we're just going to have to go on and do the setup anyway. It gives you that option, so we're going to go ahead and hit the next button. It says open Wi-Fi settings. So we're opening Wi-Fi settings. And Starlink pops up. Let's hit Starlink. And it is connecting to Starlink. Now, it wants me to sign into the network. I hit that. Okay. Let's see. Enter Wi-Fi network name. Standby. Okay. I went ahead and set up the network with a password. Obviously, I am not going to show that on camera, but I had renamed the Starlink network the network. Original, isn't it? Anyway, I click that. I will enter the password, but you will not see. We are now connected to the network. All right. Let's see if this shit works. We'll look at our YouTube channel. As we can see, I am playing off of the network. Apparently, it is working rather well from what we can see. So, for all intents and purposes, we are pretty much straight. Let me stop this damn video. There we go. So, we are on the network, connected, full signal strength. I got all the other crap still showing, but that's neither here or there. But in the end, that's all it takes to set up Starlink. You just get your router hooked up, get the array set up in a suitable spot outside, and go through the instructions to see if there's any obstructions that might interfere with the array's signal gathering. And depending on where you're at, you will probably have some obstructions, but it's not a disqualifier from you being able to set the system up. And then after you do that, you just go ahead, name your network, set a password for it, reconnect to it again, and that's it. Pretty simple, pretty quick. So we're on the network now through Starlink. So that's it. Gonna see how this system works. We got some time to really give it a whirl, see how well the router works as far as the distance it'll pick up while outside, and see how well it handles multiple devices drawing off of the same router. So that's it. Till next time. If you want one of these things, they're kind of pricey, but in the end, it might be well worth it if you're stuck in a position like we are with crappy satellite internet. So till next time, I'm getting off here. I'm going to play around with this whole Starlink thing a little bit. So same old deal. Hit the like button, subscribe, notifications, all that good stuff. Drop a comment. I tend to answer questions pretty quickly. So I will catch you later.